Yeah, against this right back, Charlie.
You always use that active when defenders are being given like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Man. Come on. Just as Uncle Ian Wright said there, people deluded, I'm back again. Hope you all had a great week last week. Hope the week to come is even better. And I hope you're enjoying what's left of your weekend. As usual, one love for tuning in. Let's see what's concerning Arsenal and stuff like that with the transfer news, the rumours and things. We've been linked with obviously Declan Rice, Timber, Havertz so far in the transfer window. As you can see there, we've been linked with Kylian Mbappe. Smash the like button and let me know your thoughts. Now, I don't big up Chris Wheatley. I don't need to read this. We've got no chance of signing Kylian Mbappe. I mean, technically, there will be a chance, but the man's going Real Madrid. While we've got an exciting project and things, and I'd definitely love to be proven wrong with Kylian Mbappe, we all know it's a myth, people. I'm sure everyone in Europe is considering a move for him. Mbappe's clearly got his heart set on either staying at Paris Saint-Germain and fulfilling the duties of his contract with a year left and reaching the pinnacle of club football, which is a club like Real Madrid. Respectfully, it doesn't get better than that. So, make your own reports. But for what it's worth, Arsenal considering sensational Kylian Mbappe move and Declan Rice announcement day, allegedly. I'm trying to scroll to the bulk of it, but there's some light on the Declan Rice stuff. It said, the Gunners are understood to be close to confirming Declan Rice's £105 million move from West Ham, and one outlet has seemingly revealed when supporters can expect an official announcement. Some have actually said Monday, tomorrow at the time of making this vid. Elsewhere, people, we've been linked with Kylian Mbappe. We've been linked with him since his days at Monaco. We'd love to have him. Historical French ties. The closest thing we're going to get to Thierry Henry, unless there's a randomer out there that's ready to have that impact. According to Football Transfers, Arsenal are weighing up a move for Kylian Mbappe in 2024. The online news outlet has apparently been told that the Paris Saint-Germain attacker is admired by the Premier League club and that they are considering whether or not to send a package to the Frenchman's reps. As you know, his contract is out with Paris Saint-Germain next summer. If there is a chance to do that, why not, people? Moving away from that, apparently, according to The Sun, we are putting our final touches on the Declan Rice deal. Arsenal are understood to be putting the finishing touches on the £105 million deal to sign Declan Rice from West Ham, with personal terms reportedly agreed between the Gunners and the England international, as well as the fee with the Hammers. All that remains is for the final details of the payment structure. According to The Sun, West Ham hope to have the terms of the deal agreed by Monday, the 3rd of July, which will then give Arsenal the opportunity to complete the deal and officially announce Rice's signing. Obviously, he'd have to have his medical. Romano has poured cold water on the Mbappe stuff. Despite some big headlines, I honestly have no news on any English clubs being in talks to sign Mbappe. Real Madrid are always very well informed on Mbappe. I'm not aware of anyone else at this moment. So I'd love to be wrong. Once again, talks over the payment structure of the Declan Rice deal is all that remains. West Ham want a guaranteed £100 million by the end of next year. Talks over the payment structure for Declan Rice is £105 million move to Arsenal almost finalised. He's set to make the short switch from East to North London. And again, we've had a number of bids rejected. We've got over the line. The proposal, if can't imagine no Arsenal fans don't know, is 100 million plus an extra 5 million in potential bonuses. The fee was initially proposed to be paid across 4 years. West Ham allegedly want the guaranteed part of the fee to be paid by the end of next year, people. Allegedly, Sammy Motbell said a deal was agreed in principle on Wednesday afternoon, from which point the deal was formally believed to be done. Personal terms with the player are not thought to be an issue and indeed considered a formality. He's set to sign a long-term deal, allegedly for around 250 grand a week. We've obviously signed Kai Havertz, so seems like Mikel Arteta is trying to revitalize his midfield, or better yet, rebuild it. So we'll have to see. You know, I do think Arsenal fans get hung up on fixatedness, and what I mean by that is we've got options. You know, I don't know if Xhaka and Partey will be here, but you could still have Xhaka, Partey, and Odegaard. You could have Partey and Rice. You could have Odegaard, Smith Rowe, and Rice, or you could throw Havertz into that. You could throw Fabio Vieira into that, depending on, you know, what the game requires. Some games we're going to need a bit more tenacity, physicality, and dynamism. Sometimes we might be able to play less on that and focus on, you know, just the sexy Wenger ball, better yet Arteta ball that we're currently facing. Declan Rice and Kai, great signings, along with Timber. You know, they're in their early to mid-20s. They all got a wealth of experience. You know, with Kai Havertz, you know, for me anyways, Kai Havertz and Declan Rice, you have the same level of experience, or how can I put it? Like, adaptable experience to someone like Martin Odegaard with our youth project, being at Real Madrid since 16, 17 years of age. I would also throw Saka into that now. Ramsdale having been in a relegation fight with Bournemouth, it shows you how real football is, and there's many of other examples, people. So hopefully we get these signings and potentially more over the line. Once again, we're still discussing the structure of the Declan Rice deal, folks. Apparently the rough expectation is that the transfer will all be done by Monday, possibly Sunday, but of course this is not guaranteed at this stage. Such is life, people. Smith Rowe has said he's ready to fight for his spot, and you know me, I'm a big Smith Rowe fan. The 22-year-old, I think England are actually in their third and final group stage game in a couple of hours, people. So yeah, it is what it is. For what it's worth, Smith Rowe has said, I see what happens, and obviously it's good for the club to add strength to the team. I feel like the additions we're making are going to really help the team progress again. And I like Kyrill's comments of talking about Timber. He basically said, bring them in, it makes our club better, and may the best man win in terms of getting first team football. I feel like the additions we're making are going to really help the team progress again. It's really exciting. So hopefully we can go one step further next season. Of course, it's extra competition in brackets with Havertz's arrival, but this is football. You've just got to get on with it. I've got to keep working hard, and it's healthy competition. I've got to keep fighting. Again, apparently he said on Gareth Southgate, on Declan Rice, he said, I can't speak highly enough of him. I remember my first camp when Smith obviously got called up for the full team. Apologies for the kids ramping outside, people. Let the kids be kids. Pardon me. He said, I was really surprised with how good he actually was. He was the best in training, maybe a bit of PR because, pardon me, we're signing him. Just his level, his intensity, technicality, everything he was doing, a real leader, and he's still so young. He was really, really good. He then said he admitted it was difficult to not play much of a role last term as well, people, which isn't good. He said, yeah, we're talking about it the other day with a couple of boys. Obviously, a few of us were there. On the pitch, we just know each other really well. So I think this is something else. It's good to be back at. It's good to look back at what happened, and we definitely want to try and do similar things here. We've got a strong team. We're not going to fear anyone. It'll be a good game against Portugal, but I'm confident that we'll win. And apparently, people, in relation to his position, he said, I did see a lot of talk about my position, but I'm not really sure what they think. I'm happy to play anywhere. I think this is in relation to how Arteta and his coaching staff view how Smith Rowe can be utilized. Maybe it's inside, maybe it's wide. I'll be having that conversation when I'm back. Fair enough, really and truly. So big him up. We all know he's got a tattoo in Spanish, which translates to trust the process, people. He said, I wanted a bit of motivation for myself after a hard season. I'm back in Smith Rowe to get back. Lokonga apparently is putting the final touches on a potential loan to Burnley, something we've heard for a while. Burnley would buy Lokonga and the Gunners would be happy to sell, but a loan may be the eventual solution, people. So we'll have to see exactly what happens in Lokonga's case and any other potential outgoings. What is this? Is it going to load? I think this article has flopped us here, people. This article, okay. Arsenal set to seal new Saliba contract this week and re-sign unemployed star in a huge transfer boost. I mean, technically, Reece Nelson's unemployed. Arsenal expect to tie down Saliba to a new contract as part of a quadruple boost this week. He's set to sign a 4-year extension at the Emirates, people. We also believe Reece Nelson is on the verge of agreeing similar terms, and we also hope to get over the line with Timber and obviously Declan Rice, and may the good times can continue. We've brought in Havertz, moving over the line with a couple, retained young promising star Ethan Nwaneri. So it's good times. Now, apparently, Miguel Aziz, who I think is unfortunately not going to make the grade at Arsenal, his contract is up in a year, hasn't pulled up any trees on loan, and there's ever-growing competition in the midfield. He's been linked with joining Barcelona B, which someone that is of Spanish descent, someone that has played in Spain, someone who I think is game style, better yet, smash the like button, let me know your thoughts, is a great fit for Barcelona. And for him, obviously, you get to learn under Xavi. If you train with the first team, play for Barcelona in a men's league, because the B team do that, learn what you need to learn and probably move. If you can't break through at Arsenal, I can't see it happening at Barcelona on face value, people. But for Barca, I think they want to get more competitive options for their B team. As you see here, it says Barcelona Athletic. He's contracted until 2024. They want to negotiate that he arrives as a free agent in a exchange for potential future percentage of a sale, people. So yeah, and as you've seen, Barcelona B have seen a couple of players go, and at under 21s level for Arsenal, you're seeing a lot of things take shape already. You know, Matthew Smith has left the club and actually signed for Wigan on a free transfer. You've obviously seen a whole bunch of other youth players leave/be released, and there'll probably be some more. And I'd imagine we bring in a couple people. So yeah, it's just speaking about that. Essentially, he would follow obviously young Marcus McGain, who left Arsenal, went to Barcelona. Last time I checked was at Oxford United people. Apparently, Arsenal now directly told agent they want to sign promising playmaker. Allegedly, Rudy Galetti has said that in relation to Arda Guler, very talented Fenerbahce young man, and I think he's a jewel in the future of Turkish football. Has drawn interest from Barcelona, Real Madrid, Liverpool, AC Milan, Arsenal, obviously Napoli. Arda Guler is followed by several teams in Europe. Arsenal for sure are among them, but the competition for the Turkish striker is really, really fierce. Player apologies. There's a clause set at an amount less than 20 million, and all of the top clubs in Europe, that is a small amount. And so Paris Saint-Germain, AC Milan, Napoli, Liverpool, Barca, and Arsenal, and many, many other teams are interested. Probably best he stays for a year, in my opinion, because he's only 18 and there's no rush, but who knows? Balogun's been linked with a move. Apparently, Arsenal want to run the rule over him in pre-season. Let me know your thoughts, people. And apparently, they reckon he's a gem for the club, really. Paul Brown has said, allegedly, Balogun is a whole different situation. He's a massively talented young player, hugely promising. Arsenal think they've got a real gem there. But as is the way quite often with players like this, he's had a taste of first-team football and done well in France and thinks it's now time to be in a team. You can't blame him. He's ambitious. He wants to be a key part of Arsenal. Fair enough. Couldn't begrudge him. Hopefully you get a chance to do that or you're sold. Allegedly, Timber was absent from Ajax's first outdoor training session of the summer under their new coach as his proposed 40 million transfer to Arsenal nears completion. Allegedly, we've reached an agreement with the Dutch Giants last week for an initial 36 million in brackets 42 million euros, topped up by a further 4 million pounds, 5 million euros in add-ons. He's been working individually, and that's probably the calm before the storm. Personal terms have already been agreed, so hopefully next week we confirm another one in. As I just said, Wigan have agreed a move for young Matt Smith, and that's basically been confirmed, so we wish him all the best. Romano has said Arsenal are close to completing the Timber deal. Sources feel it will be done next week. Negotiations at final stages since Thursday. More positive contacts took place, payment terms being discussed with Ajax, and then time for a medical. Again, we've been linked with Moussa Diaby. Allegedly, they're very quiet. Allegedly, Team News and Ticks has said, I've heard nothing about a winger this window. The Diaby links were there, but they're very quiet. Despite the initial buzz, the buzz around Arsenal's first move for the French ace seems to have weakened, with the insider stating, I don't think there's anything major behind them. So, yeah, and for what it's worth, we could bring in another winger. We probably should, along with a striker. He's valued at around 65 million quid. Make of that what you will. Bayern Leverkusen's pursuit for Granit Xhaka remains at a standstill, as it was earlier this month, although the progression in Arsenal's chase for Declan Rice could move things along. Even so, from Arsenal's perspective, it's not a need to sell Xhaka, says my guy Art de Roche. Make sure you're following him, people. Works for the Athletic. Graham Bailey of 90 Minutes said, I think they want more. From what we're hearing, I wouldn't rule out Arsenal signing another midfielder. I think Caicedo will be Chelsea bound, but a Lavia, someone like that, I wouldn't rule out. Arsenal get another top-class midfielder. In fact, I'd be shocked if they don't. Fair enough, really, but we have to see that correlate. Once again, Nelson and Saliba will sign new deals. And again, people, Barcelona's Laporte has said they're speaking to Fenerbahce about Arda Guler. Balogun is expected to push for a move away, people. If he genuinely does think he's ready and isn't willing to wait, you could see him pushing for a move, but we're not at that stage yet. So I think we'll have to see how things develop in pre-season first, said Paul Brown. To wrap this up, let's see what goal.com has said in relation to our transfer news. Timber to be completed next week. We've been linked with Kylian Mbappe. Pepe has spoken on Arteta. Check out the other videos I've done because I've gone over that already at length. Pablo Maria is formally, if you go on Arsenal.com, left Arsenal and signed for Monza on a permanent deal in which we've got 6 million quid for. We're the only English team, which I don't believe, but allegedly in the race to sign Arda Guler. We're obviously, Ethan has committed a scholarship deal. We're on the verge of signing Declan Rice. We've announced Havertz. We've got an interest in Lavia. So we're really just echoing the same sentiment. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on Declan Rice, on Lavia, on Ethan and Wary, on Balogun, on Declan Rice, on everything we've discussed for that, people. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, smash the like button, check out my playlist and take in the rest of the other content. Stay blessed, stay safe. One love.
There's always just that active red flag. Defenders have been given like